Hey, folks, it's me, Denny Carter, your fourth favorite Denny on the internet. Actually, I don't know. I don't know any other Dennys. Maybe you do. Thank you for joining me for this weekly live stream Q&A where you ask me all your questions and I answer them methodically and with great seriousness. There's no joking. I don't want any lightheartedness in here this week. All right. I'm sick of the jokes. I'm sick of you acting like this is a game. It's not a game. It's fantasy football. So we're going to get serious today. We're going to answer your questions as you make a push for the fantasy football playoffs. That's right, folks. For many of you, I guess the playoffs start next week. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Hey, what do you know? I'm acting like I'm also am not in leagues where it starts next week. It starts next week for me as well. We're going to get you into the playoffs. Remember, just get in, baby. That's what Al Davis said. Rest in peace. He said, just get in. I think that's what he said. Anyway, and that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. There's no home field advantage, no this or that. I mean, I know some leagues they like give some extra points to the higher seed or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But you get in and you can pull an upset. You just never know. You literally never know, folks. So just get in. I did want to just quickly address something from the Thursday night game. Just a beautiful display by the Patriots and the Steelers. And finally, look, I've been watching Al Michaels broadcast games for my whole life. Okay. I've been watching football for 30 plus years. So I've seen a few Al Michaels games, and Al Michaels always makes these very carefully worded, veiled references to gambling, to betting. And finally, he ripped the Band-Aid off last night, folks. And he just openly talked about the over-under on the Patriots-Steelers game, which I think was at 30.5. I guess it depends on what book you're looking at, but 30.5. And they cleared that in the first half. And he mentioned it. And it was like a freeing moment for our guy, Al Michaels, where he could just finally acknowledge that sports betting is legal in most of the United States. And he can stop talking about betting and gambling like it's 1987, and he has to talk about it like backwards lyrics in a Beatles album. You can just say it, Al, and you did, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Al. I know Al's a huge fan of this stream. I know he's watching. Thank you, Al, for watching as always. But man, that felt good. Another thing from last night's game, the attempted tush push, brotherly shove, whatever you prefer, of Bailey Zappi late in that game when the Patriots were trying to convert a fourth down or convert a third and short, third and inches. That was, come on. That was embarrassing. And it shows why the league has no business banning the tush push. Because, folks, it doesn't work except for Jalen Hurts and maybe, I don't know, Josh Allen. And that's it. That's it. That's the list. Okay. Little Bailey Zappi, I say little, he's probably way bigger than me, but hey, little Bailey Zappi being pushed into that line, 4th and inches. We're not even talking about fourth. Jalen Hurts can convert a 4th and 3 with the tush push. Bailey Zappi could not gain 2 inches. They needed 2 inches for the first down. He couldn't get it. And you know why? Because you have to have a quarterback who can leg press a tank in order to execute the tush push correctly. And I'm guessing that Bailey Zappi can't leg press a tank. And you know who can? Jalen Hurts. And that's why it works. It's not a cheat code. It's only a cheat code for one team in the NFL. Everybody else, you risk, seriously hurting your quarterback. Can you imagine if the Panthers did that with Bryce Young? You wouldn't allow children to watch that. It'd be horrifying. So the league cannot ban. I know there have been reports Roger Goodell wants to ban the play forever. That makes no sense. That makes no sense because it's an advantage to exactly one, maybe two teams. Okay? The tush push doesn't work if you don't have the strongest quarterback to ever put on pads. It's literally the only way it works. Anyway, let's get to your questions. Oh, and by the way, if you folks see injury news come across the wire, if you're monitoring the wire, like an old war correspondent, the Civil War or something, I don't know what I'm saying right now. That was a shout out to Pat Doherty. He's constantly mentioning the Civil War on our podcast, the Rotoworld Football Show, which you should check out anywhere you get your podcasts. What was I saying? Yeah, if injury news comes down during the stream, feel free to throw it into the chat just to keep me updated. Okay, I am gonna try to check sometimes, but it's a little bit difficult to do both. We'll start with a good one. Zach Attack says he's down Cosmic. That's good. I love inventive ways. You all probably know this. I love inventive ways to say you're down bad, down unfathomable, down horrific, down horrendous, down nightmarish, down cosmic. Oh man, you are. Oof. That's it. Those are your only options. Come on, man. I'd rather start Flacco. I mean, Ritter. If it comes down to those, just Ritter. If Pacheco's out, which two of these three should I roll with? Eckler, DeAndre Swift, Keaton, Mitchell. Thank you for putting the players' whole names and the teams they're playing. That's really useful because I don't know what to do when I get a start sit question that says, should I start Wilson, Johnson, or Johnson? Go with the Johnsons. Pacheco is out. If he is out, I would go. Yeah, I mean, gosh, I know the Eckler thing is ugly. Chargers said they want a competition for carries. That doesn't sound good. And I posted yesterday on X about just how bad Eckler has been this season. So I get that. I would go Swift for sure. I guess Eckler. Sorry. I wanted to say Keaton Mitchell. I just can't. Lamar versus the Rams. Oh, yeah. No, you go Lamar versus the Rams. I actually wrote up Lamar and the Baltimore passing offense in this week's funnel defense report, which you can find on NBCSports.com in the Rotoworld section. The funnel defense report kind of helps me narrow down players that I'm targeting, particularly in DFS and other weekly tournaments and fantasy challenges, games of that nature, things of that nature, I should say. So yeah, the funnel defense report, read that. Lamar, it's Lamar all day over Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is way too touchdown reliant. Christopher Q. Graham, the fourth, says, hey, Denny, so I have to pick one in standard. Yikes. Shakir. Oh, Mingo, Addison. Oh, boy. In standard, you're just going for the guy who has the best touchdown chance, and I think that's Addison. I think it's Addison. Khalil Shakir's role in the Buffalo offense could be completely tanked this week if the Bills activate Dawson Knox off of IR, which is a possibility, and they go back to their heavy 2 tight end set usage, which was terrible. It didn't work, but teams don't care about that. They don't care about what works and what doesn't. They just do. They do what the system tells them to do. It's like an entity from on high, right? And you just follow what the system says. So if the system says get Dawson Knox on the field, then gosh darn it, they're going to do just that. And that means no more Shakir, and that means it's a big issue. I will say for Dalton Kincaid, I'm probably not going to tell anybody to bench Dalton Kincaid this week, but I do think that the PPR scam gravy train that you've been riding with Dalton Kincaid, I say this as someone who's bitter about not having much Dalton Kincaid in redraft leagues, / any Dalton Kincaid exposure. You've been riding your sweet little gravy train. Oh, I get a bunch of 6-yard receptions from my tight end. That's fun. It is fun, actually. It's great. And I wish I had it. And I don't. But Dawson Knox coming back destroys all that. So there you go. All right, Zach Attack's back. Please pick 2. Rice, Flowers, Downs, London. Half PPR. Rice. I think you can go Rice. I mean, he's obviously the Chiefs are just intent on never having him run a full complement of routes, but nevertheless, he's locked in for 8 targets a week from Patrick Mahomes. I'll take that. And then I would go with Flowers. I do like Flowers this week. Greg McDonald, kicker question. Thank you. Playoff edition. Better kicker for the fantasy playoffs. I don't know, man. I don't know because you didn't put their schedules. I don't know the kicker schedules off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sick. Greg, listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. I'm sick. I'm sick with kickers, okay? I'm not that sick. Okay? I don't have a Rolodex of kicker matchups in my head. You know, I'm not Neo from the Matrix just being plugged in and being like, oh, I know all the kicker matchups now. That's not the case. I don't know, man. Probably coup. Michelle, sorry. If Amari Cooper plays, I'm worried about QB and weather. Start him or Ford. The Jags are a pretty horrific run rushing matchup. So I would lean Cooper there. Cooper should play. He returned to practice on Friday. Jerry Z Medina, the 9th. Broke T-Law and Murray on the bye. Okay. Which QB to pick up? Minshew, Browning, Mayfield, or Stafford? I think Minshew's in a pretty good spot. I do. The what are they called? What are they called, guys? The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. They were actually 4% over their expected dropback rate last week against the Titans. And then in week 12, they were 9% over their expected dropback rate against Tampa. So in other words, they are passing at a pretty good clip. And a guy like Minshew needs that sort of volume to get there. Just to give you an example of what's going on with the Colts offense, when the game was close, so when it was within 7 points either way, the Colts passed on 71% of their plays, or dropped back to pass on 71% of their plays last week against Tennessee. I think we'll see more of that against the Bengals. Nice IKEA shelf. You don't know me. You don't know that these are IKEA shelves. How dare you just assume? You just assume that I went to IKEA when I moved into this house in 2020 and bought these shelves and brought them back and broke them 3 times before I put them together. How dare you? Honestly, it's insulting. They are IKEA, by the way. I like them a lot. Michelle, she's back. Lockett or Madison? Lockett. Madison is in a terrible spot. The Raiders are a pass funnel. They're really good against the run since like week 8 or week 9. I can't remember which. But doesn't matter to you that much. And also, the Niners are the most extreme pass funnel in the league. That it doesn't mean they're bad against the pass. They're actually quite good. But there's just zero possibility that the Seahawks are going to run the ball this week. So I could see Lockett finally getting off the schneid this week. Troy Olsen says, I came up for hands up 7 up, but now I find again. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, buddy. All right. I'll never just get in. Oh, you'll get in. You'll get in this chat and you'll like it. How about that? Hail. Patrick says, hail. Likely over Taysom at tight end this week in PPR. I'm looking for a safe floor. And then in the playoffs, I got to start McBride. I guess you start McBride over Taysom. I don't know. I mean, it's close. It's close. If has anyone seen a Taysom Hill update? My entire financial standing hinges on whether Taysom Hill plays this week. I'm gonna need Taysom to suit up. He did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday, and it's making me a little nervous. I just saw a Sean McDermott question that I'm going to skip, if you don't mind. Jacob Glazer says 10-person half PPR. I have Murray, Geno, Love. Should I start Geno for next week? Should I keep Geno for next week or drop him to pick up Tajay Spears? Well, Derrick Henry's playing, so whatever. I don't know who Geno plays next week either. Sorry. Half PPR. Who would I start? Moss, Eckler. Well, I don't know how many can you start. I need to know how many you can start. Read your funnel report. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. I really do like the funnel report. I know it's funny. The regression files, which I write on when I publish that on Wednesdays. It's a little navel gazy. Do you know what I mean? It's a little, and folks on Reddit have called me out, and for good reason. I don't take any offense to it. I'm not mad. Do not tell the newspaper that I'm mad. Not. But it is a little navel gazy because you're like, oh, he's seeing so many prayer yards, and eventually they should convert according to his career air yard conversion rate and all this stuff. Whew, almost cursed. And the reader reads that and says, okay, should I start him or not? That's what the reader wants to know. Should I play this player or not? And the regression files don't exactly answer that question. I do think that the funnel defense report kind of better answers those questions and gives you more actionable advice. That's just my thought on the two things that I write for NBC Sports every week. All right. I need to bench one of Brandon Ayuk, Devontae. Oh, man. Really? Whew. What the? All right. Drew, man, you're my guy because that's a heck of a receiving room. Man, I mean, honestly, is it like a 16 league? What is this? But I guess you probably got Nico really late. Maybe you went 0 RB and then took Nico late, and now you're just a monster. Just ridiculous. I will say, excuse me, I almost had to sneeze. Still have to sneeze. Trying desperately not to sneeze, since sneezing is the ugliest human state, and I won't expose you to that. Nico is in a horrific spot this week. For me, as Randy Jackson used to say on American Idol, for you, for me. For you, for me, for me, for you. Nico Collins is a 100% total fade in DFS this week. People are going to, Tank Dell's out. Nico goes crazy last week. 55% first rate target share, all this stuff. All this nerdy stuff for Nico Collins. It's great. It's fantastic. And now he gets the Jets, one of the most elite secondaries this season. And he plays on the outside primarily, which is where the Jets really shut down receivers. So he is a full fade for me. But the fish always get there. The chalk has never failed. We have to remember this for DFS. All right, I'll answer your question now. I would bench Olave. I can't bench Ayuk. I'll bench Olave. Let's get a collab in this. FFT. What is FFT? I don't know, man. Help me out. If you are the Steelers and given a bag to win, would you use the whole bag to do it? Sure. All right. In the playoffs, playing for a bye. Let's go. Super Dave. Many are calling you that. Mitchell or Chandler if Hall is out. Mitchell or Chandler if Hall is out. Also, okay, for the first one, I would start Mitchell. Flex two of a bunch of players. I would Rice for sure, and then Dobbs. Rice and Dobbs. There you go. All right, Gabriel H. Thomas the third. Jared Goff or Josh Dobbs. This is tough. It's tough because Dobbs has such a short leash this week, folks. Oh man, like Kevin O'Connell is going to yank that guy like a cartoon character with a big cane just right around the neck, whoop, right off the Looney Tunes stage if he throws one interception against the Raiders. But he has a great matchup. That's what I'm getting to. If Dobbs was starting and had a bad matchup, then I would say whatever, just go Goff. But it really is a matter. I'm going to put this back on you, Gabriel. I'm putting it on you. This is a matter of risk tolerance, buddy. Can you tolerate it? I can't. Well, I probably could. I would go Dobbs. I get why you would go Goff, though. Goff has almost no chance of being benched. All right, and your other question, if Pacheco's out, do you start? No, you don't start CEH. You start Rashee Rice easily. Also, folks should stash Jerick McKinnon in case Pacheco is out. McKinnon will split the backfield with CEH most likely, and CEH could even get the green zone work inside the 10 work, but McKinnon will, gosh, really sorry. McKinnon will see the pass catching work in that pass heavy Chiefs offense. All right. Thoughts on Garrett Wilson or Courtland Sutton? Yeah, right. That is a tough one. Yes, Garrett Wilson gets a big bump from Zach Wilson being in there. But Courtland Sutton is in a tremendous spot. So I think what's happened with Brandon Staley and the Chargers is they decided, like right around mid-season, that they were not going to be the laughingstock run defense that they were last year. Okay, when they were just being trampled by everyone on the ground. And so they have tweaked, arranged, whatever, their defense so that they're almost selling out to stop the run. They're saying, you're not going to run on us. And the consequence, the result of that is that their secondary is exposed. And that's kind of what we've seen for most of the season, at least for the second half. Is just a secondary that's just sort of left out to dry because Brandon Staley just simply doesn't want to be the worst rush defense in the league anymore. So that means Courtland Sutton is a great play. I would lean Sutton. All right. All right. You want to know about if your process is sound. The Saints are a low-powered offense when functional. That's true. I can confirm that. They are far from functional currently. Panthers defense getting healthy and only got beat up when depleted against them teams like Lions, Dolphins, Cowboys. So Panthers defense is a good. Yeah, no, you can make an argument. I think you can. My favorite low price defense this week is actually the Jets on DraftKings, I should say. The Panthers make some sense in that regard, but I don't know. I don't know if they have much ceiling. You know what I mean? I mean, and if you're playing cash games or whatever, that's fine. I think the Panthers are fine, but I don't see them as like a great like tournament play. But yeah, it's sound. You're on the right track, buddy. You got it. You got this. Standard score. Goddard or Komet. I'll go with Komet because we just don't know about Goddard's playing time. And bonus quick kicker question. The folks, they love their kickers. Do I keep rolling with Moody or switch to McManus, Gay, or Koo? Moody is solid, but too many games with only extra point. Yeah, I know. That's been a little rough. But the process says we like kickers attached to high-powered offenses. The Niners have, I forget, either the first or the second highest implied total of Week 14. I would not move off of Moody. You keep being Moody, Enrique. Cris is back, half PPR. Who should I start? Pick 3. Oh, okay. All right, got it. Pick 3. You have to start Moore. You have to start Moss, and you have to start Jacobs. Bench Eckler. There you go. Now we're on the right path. All right. Be as specific as possible, folks. That'll help me. That'll help me help you. That's a Jerry Maguire thing, right? Help me help you. Oh, man. when I was a kid, I think that movie came out in like 96, so I was like 13. Not like 13, I was exactly 13. And I remember being so dang jealous of Tom Cruise's hair. I wanted that hair so bad. I grew my hair out because his hair is a little bit on the long side, at least for Tom Cruise purposes, in Jerry Maguire. And I grew my hair out a little bit, and I went to hair cuttery, and I was like, make me look like Tom Cruise. Do it. I didn't. It turns out I actually didn't end up looking like Tom Cruise, but man, I love that hair. All right. All right. Should I start Purdy or Lamar? Purdy has such an insane floor every week that I struggle as a fantasy head analyst, whatever you want to call me. I struggle to say bench Purdy. I just do. I know Lamar is a pretty good play. He's been up and down, but he's a pretty good play. I can't tell you to bench Purdy. I can't. So I would go Purdy. Mitch M. Mays, the third, start one in half PPR, Swift or Javonte. Javonte, the peripherals are pretty good, and his role you would think would fuel some sort of floor at least, but it's really not happening. I have him in a couple leagues, and he's pretty much just the most boring possible fantasy option. I'm looking at Denver's drop back rate over expected in recent weeks. -7, -7, +7, -13, -10. They were 10% under their expected drop back rate last week against Houston. When the game was close, they were dropping back at a 67% clip, which is good. But yeah, they are run heavy, but I don't know. I would have to say DeAndre Swift, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, Brian Johnson, came out and said this week, we got to establish the run. That's what we got to do. We lost one game, so we got to establish it. This is just like the most reactionary thing for coaches, NFL coaches, to do is to lose one game, as my co-host Pat Doherty pointed out. One game. They lost one game. It's not like the Eagles are on a 4-game slide, okay, where they've just completely abandoned the run early in games. They had to abandon the run last week because they were getting their butts kicked by the Niners. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just keep running it up the middle when you're down 27 points in the second half? Seems like bad process to me. I don't know. Do I know ball? Maybe. I've never watched a game, but it does seem like you definitely want to throw the ball. Anyway, Brian Johnson, I think he will force the issue with DeAndre Swift. Keep him in your lineups this week. PPR is standard. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Pick 3. I need at least one receiver, one tight end, and one flex. Oh man, this is getting more specific as I read. Ferguson is a great play, folks. I'm begging you once again. I'm begging you. Read the Funnel Defense report. It has some good stuff on the Cowboys pass catchers, including Jake Don't Call Me Turd Ferguson. So you're starting Ferguson, and you're starting. Oh man, you're starting Addison and Ferguson and Gabe Davis. There you go. If Trevor plays, still start the Cleveland defense or pivot to Atlanta. I would you stick with the Browns. Stick with the Browns. All right, Greg's back. Quick question. Oh, all right. We updated it. We have some specific. Let's go. Matt Gay, Colts kicker, playoff schedule. Steelers, Falcons, Raiders. Okay. Koo schedule. Oh yeah, no, it's Koo. It's Koo. You stick with Koo. Who is, by the way, right now, as of this recording, Younghoe Koo is the most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL, because Justin Tucker has missed a few kicks this year, and so Koo has vaulted ahead of him, at least temporarily. So Younghoe Koo, for now, the greatest kicker to ever live. I respect it as a longtime Younghoe Koo backer. All right. I think I just answered that. All right. Here we go. PPR pick 2, Ridley, Javonte, D-Hop, Puka. Ridley is such a horrible option this week. Ew. I really am trying to avoid him wherever possible. So the game script in the Titans game is going to favor probably a bunch of targets for DeAndre Hopkins. So I will go with Hopkins, and I will go with Puka. Let's go with Puka. Am I getting too cute? Oh boy, with things in thinking Collins over Diggs this week. All right. All right. Listen, I don't have many rules in this stream. Okay. This is mostly a lawless stream. But as you know, if you've watched this stream throughout the season, and I thank you for that, you know that I do have one issue that is near and dear to my heart. And that is getting too cute. We don't do it here. I hope you understand that. And I know this viewer said, am I getting too cute? Well, let me tell you something, buddy. You're getting way too cute. This is way too cute. This is off the charts cute. No, absolutely not. We get a little cute. I'm fine with some cuteness with your lineup. Yeah, you get a little. We'll plug this guy in, even though he's ranked 3 spots higher on the collective rankings, whatever. You know, that's okay. That's a proper amount of cuteness. Okay. You look at the analytics, you say, what is the proper amount of cuteness? And then you apply it to your decision making on a weekly basis, setting your fantasy lineups. This is so cute. It's jailable. I'm not an advocate for that sort of behavior. But I will call the authorities. I will have to. I mean, like morally, I won't want to, but I will have to if you play Collins over Diggs. Don't do that. Don't get too cute. Strouder love this week. I actually would say Jordan Love, even though he was in the wrong part of the regression files. Devontae Smith or Garrett Wilson, I would go with Devontae. Dalton Kincaid or Taysom Hill. Come on, this is a family stream. Good grief. Oh God, I could use folks, please. Can someone give me a Taysom Hill update? I need him. My family needs him to play this week. I can't deal with Taysom Hill being out. Oh my God, please no. Please no. You're playing Taysom. If Taysom plays against the Panthers, it is like a perfect spot for Taysom. Okay, the Panthers are a run funnel defense. They're giving up the second highest rushing success rate on the season. Everybody establishes against Carolina, not just because they're bad, but because they kind of have a decent secondary, or at least they just keep things in front of them. They don't allow huge plays downfield. Anyway, Taysom and Taysom has run real cold near the goal line. When the regression hits, when it reverses itself, we're getting a multiple touchdown game from him, and I believe it's coming this week. Please, whoever will listen up there, please let Taysom play this week. All right. Dennis calling me by my proper name. Devontae, Jalen Waddle, or Nico for 2 spots. Honestly, okay, Collins and Smith. Collins and Smith. All right, that was tough. Couple tight end questions. Yeah, you gotta play Laporta. That's just how it is, folks. I mean, Ferguson is in an amazing spot. Ferguson could go absolutely nuclear this week against the Eagles, an Eagles team that's being just wrecked in the middle of the field. Should be a big day for CeeDee Lamb. I know that's shocking to you, and for Jake. Don't call me Turd Ferguson. For the Zoomers, you can look up Turd Ferguson and see what comes up. Can't believe I just told people to do that. All right, and I would go with Kincaid over Goddard. But folks, look, everybody says, "Oh, I miss your kicker stuff." I still have kicker content. I still recommend kickers. I still talk about kicker matchups. I do it in Kyle Dvorchak's waiver piece, and I tweet it out. I post that all the time. Come on, are you serious? Like no one knows. All right, just for the folks, I'll go through. I'll go through some. No. All okay. I'm looking at all kicker matchups. Oof, that's tough to say. All right. So if you have Jason Myers and he's been okay for you this year, you absolutely cannot play him this week against the Niners. Just don't do it. That is against the kicker process. Brandon McManus should be okay-ish against the Browns if Trevor Lawrence plays. Jake Moody is available in 57% of leagues. He's a good play. Matt Gay is a decent play. Let's see. Whoever kicks for Houston, whether it's Amendola or Fairbairn, would be a good play. Greg Joseph available in 94% of leagues. I think you can plug him in against the Las Vegas Raiders. And Blake Groupie. You got no respect. None. This guy's the Rodney Dangerfield of fantasy kickers, and I don't say that lightly. Groupie available in 91% of leagues. Going against Carolina. You're playing him. You're playing him if you can get him. Montgomery or Mostert. Oh, man, it's such a good matchup for the Dolphins running backs. Both guys could go ballistic. I hate that you have to bench either of these guys. Is there a way? You can't. There's no will or no way to get them into your lineup. That stinks. I mean, I would lean Mostert. Gosh, that's hard. Would I drop Waller? Darren Waller? He retired in 2019, guys. I have Ferguson as my tight end. Yeah. I mean, Ferguson's a way better play than he would be a way better play than Darren Waller if Darren Waller were 100% healthy and had Daniel Jones. So don't worry about that. Two different questions. PPR Addison or you got to go with DeAndre Hopkins, and then you would go with Flowers. Yeah, go with Flowers. All right, we're moving on here. I have the Browns. Should I ride them or look elsewhere? Yeah, I think. Look, the Ravens defense was dropped in a lot of leagues. I guess because they had a bye week. That makes sense. I get that. I'm not going to cast aspersions or insult anyone or their families at all. Okay, I almost never do that. So, if you drop the Ravens defense, that's fine. You're probably not a horrible person. Most likely. Okay. Probably is what I should say. But the Ravens are a good matchup this week. Folks on Reddit, you may have noticed I've been spending a little more time on Reddit. Folks on Reddit, listen, they don't miss anything. Okay. I post something about the Ravens Rams and they immediately start giving me literally the hourly weather forecast for Sunday in Baltimore. The game's obviously being played at the Ravens. I mean the granular sort of analysis going on Reddit and other places on the internet is tremendous. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? And I look it up, and indeed, it is supposed to be super windy and rainy in Baltimore, which is in my backyard. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't really look at the weather. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I dress the same no matter what, so it doesn't matter. What was I saying? So yeah, so it will be windy and rainy. If it's super windy, that is a concern. That is a concern. It would be a concern for Justin Tucker. It would be a little bit of a concern for the passing offenses here. We could see them being a little more conservative. But yeah, you're playing the Ravens defense. You're playing the Browns defense. Singletary, Walker, or Charbonnet if they play. Yeah, so the PFF Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator of the Texans, he came out a couple weeks ago when Dameon Pierce re-entered the lineup, and he said, we're going to use him the way we've always used him. And that's very disappointing because Devin Singletary per the metrics, was pretty dang elite in his short stint as the Houston starter in the backfield, as the lead back, and that's no more. And PFF Bobby, he followed through, and he did what pretty much all NFL coaches and coordinators do, and he says, I don't care if a running back is not good. We're going to give it to him. That's just how it goes. I wrote a column in the summer about that phenomenon. It doesn't matter if a running back is bad or good. Good and bad running backs are the exact same for NFL teams. So Singletary is a fantasy non-entity for the time being. So it has to be one of the Seattle backs, I guess. Walker. I don't know. Good luck. Vinny V. Rubio, the fifth. Hail, full PPR. Who should I start at the flex? Bijan. We're not calling him Bijan. Bijan or Devontae Smith. I'd go with Bijan. All right. Jonathan Ferguson, or likely you got to go Ferguson. Get Ferguson into your lineups. Likely is also a really good play. I mentioned him in the final defense report on NBCSports.com if you want to check it out. And then you need 3 out of these 45 receivers. You got to go Adams, Waddle, and Pittman. There you go. Angel on hell, maybe. I need to pick one receiver to play. I have Zay Jones, but I'm not sure if it's the best idea. I have Downs and Thielen on my bench. Ooh, I have something on Thielen, folks. I have something on the. This is a lot of information. All right, listen. Again, I don't want to guide you in a direction of being too cute. I will never do that. Yeah, if you know me, you know that. Okay. Adam Thielen, the PPR scam has run its course. I do understand that. I understand that whatever the remnants left over from the house cleaning in Carolina, that whatever coaches are left, have probably decided just to run the clock out on the season, and that means being massively run heavy. The Panthers, even while trailing last week against Tampa, were very, very run heavy. I could see that again this week. I could see that for the rest of the season. I acknowledge all of that. Okay, that is all acknowledged. Now, wait a second. Everybody just stop talking. No one gives up a higher target share to slot receivers than the Saints. That's all I'll tell you about Adam Thielen. Am I telling you to jam Adam Thielen into your lineup? No, I'm not. I will never do that. But am I saying that the Saints are the best matchup for slot receivers? I am saying that. Take that for what it's worth. All right, back to your question. There's a lot of information here. This could take at least 11 to 12 minutes. I have... so you have all those guys on your bench? I would start Elijah Moore over Zay Jones. Elijah Moore had 255 air yards last week. How crazy is that? What? I mean, he had 86 real yards, but listen, you can try to eat those 255 air yards. You can try to feed them to your family, to your pets. You could try. It's hard. They might not like it. You can try. So I would probably start Thielen or Elijah Moore for Zay Jones. All right. All right, folks, we have about 15 minutes left in this chat. I'll reset. Thank you for joining the NFL and NBC YouTube page. This is my weekly chat Q&A, start sit Q&A, whatever other questions you have about fantasy football and or life. You can find me on the X machine at CDCarter13. I'm also on Threads. We're posting more and more on Threads. It really is. Threads is really growing. The football community is really growing there. I recommend everybody check that out. You can find me at CDCarter13 on Threads as well. Would I start James Cook or Keaton Mitchell. It's a good spot for James Cook. You're starting James Cook. Kicker conundrum. Oh boy. This is tough because the Dolphins are so aggressive in the red zone. I'd go with Sanders. Can I trust Pacheco or no? The Bills are a run funnel. The Chiefs are more run heavy than they've ever been in the Mahomes era, as they try to hide their lack of depth in the receiving core. So I do think that you start Pacheco if he plays. Oh, thank you, Dave. Dave says that he loves the funnel report. Thank you. Appreciate that. But now I'm questioning starting Tua against Tennessee over Lamar. Been alternating all season. Yeah, right. Well, I don't think you can go terribly wrong here. The Dolphins have such a crazy implied total. Let me check it out for you real quick. Dave, it's just you and me. Just you and me checking this out. Everybody else cover their ears. Well, it's not loading now. Oh, well. Oh, there it is. Okay. So Dolphins have the highest implied total of the week at 29.75 points. That's many are calling that astronomical. So it is tough to bench a quarterback attached to that sort of offense. The Ravens, just for what it's worth, the Ravens implied total is 23.75, down from 26.25 earlier in the week. Now that I'm looking at it, actually, it's kind of concerning. The total for the Rams-Ravens game has gone from 45 earlier in the week to 40 on Friday. That's significant. And this might be a good time to just go through some of the games that have seen changes in their over-unders. The most dramatic swing upward is the Colts-Bengals. Started at 40 on Monday, is now up to 44 on Friday. And then you have the Eagles-Cowboys. Started at 48, is now up to 52. So that's good. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to your question, I think 2 is the safer play. Greetings to you too. Morbid options for me. That's funny. Pick 2. Mitchell, Edwards, Addison. I love how dramatic we all are. I mean, it's fantasy football, folks. I take it too seriously. So here's how I know I took it too seriously. I made it a job. I made my hobby a job. That's how you know you take a hobby too seriously. That's kind of the ultimate confirmation, isn't it? Feels like it. I'm sorry. God, you guys got to stop making me laugh. Come on. This is a serious stream. I'd go with Keaton Mitchell and Jordan Addison. Gosh. Whew. All right. Have Lockett and Zay Jones. Thielen Downs. I mean, Zay's not a bad play. I would go with Elijah Moore, honestly, over Zay Jones. All right. Half PPR. Another funny one. Stop it with the funny. I'm trying to get things done. I'm trying to do some business. This is a business trip for me. All right. It might be Playful Friday for you guys. It's not for me. This is business. I have a suitcase right here. I have my lunch pail. I wear a hard hat, but not for the stream because I want you to see my hair. All right. Half PPR. Elijah Moore or Army. Come on. All right. Just my tie. I would go with Elijah Moore and Keaton Mitchell. All right. All right, folks. We have 10 minutes left. Play. I'm so thirsty right now. I'm dying. I'm completely. Well, I have a little bit of cold coffee left. Oh. Horrific. Play Likely or Goddard. I would go with Isaiah Likely there. Just play Mahomes. Don't get cute. That's too cute. We don't get cute. Well, we don't get that cute. Joe R. Russo, the fourth. I honestly thought Tom Cruise was hosting the stream. Oh, thank you. I'm really quick, gonna text my wife. They said I look like Tom Cruise. Okay. Oh, she texted back a laughing face emoji and a skull. Nevertheless. All right. 13 and 96 was a great oldies. Yes. Always good to, yeah. Well, thank you, Tyler. Appreciate all the work. Oh, I was looking for your question. I was like, okay, let's just skip the nice parts. Let's get to your question. Let's get to the meat of the comment. But that was just a really nice thing, Tyler. Thanks. I do appreciate that. All right. Puka, Olave or Ford in half PPR. I would go with Puka Nakua. Jacob's back. Who do you like better? Quarterback next week. Jordan Love versus Tampa. Thank you so much for including the matchup. Or Geno against Philadelphia. Probably Geno. That's a really good matchup for them. Should I? Yeah. So in this week's edition of Should I Bench Calvin Ridley, would we consider Taysom Hill? And my answer, I mean, it honestly, it couldn't be worse for Calvin Ridley this week. Couldn't be. Okay, you can try to come up with a scenario where it's worse for him, but it simply is not. It simply could not be. So I honestly would play Taysom Hill over Calvin Ridley. My co-host Pat Doherty it could be, barging into my office at any moment here to drag me off the stream for saying such a thing. Really, truly. Purdy or Lamar? Purdy. Yeah, I mean, I have to be consistent. I told a previous viewer who had the same question. I said Purdy. I cannot bench Purdy right now. Man, Purdy. Kyle Shanahan found his perfect conductor, right? For this EPA machine offense that the Niners have. Jimmy G was actually kind of close to being a perfect conductor, but Jimmy G could not create out of the outside the play, or what's the term? I used it the other day online. Out of structure. Jimmy G could not create out of structure. Purdy can do that. That's the difference. Anyway, I don't want to get too far into the weeds there. Tyler's back. PPR, make a break. RB2. Trust Brees and Cook involved. Okay. Or swing to DJ Dallas or Singletary. No. Too cute. Brees. Have Lockett and okay. I think I already got that. All right. Let's see. Half PPR. Whoa, it's in all caps, so you got to go with it. Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is the answer to literally all your questions. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Get Jake Ferguson into your lineup. Keaton, you're going Keaton because Deontay Foreman is back. Taysom is universally loved. It's true. I would be going into hiding for getting too cute. You better. I'm actually not kidding. You should actually log off and go into hiding. Change your name maybe because you got too darn cute. Super Dave is back. All right. So Ravens play the Jags, Niners, and Dolphins. Yeah. Whoa. All right. I'm going to say that that's not too cute. I'm going to say that with defenses, come on, we don't care. Just play the best matchup. So, Texans. Elite J. Many are calling him elite. Folks, we have 4 minutes left, by the way. CJ Stroud against the Jets in the rain or Geno Smith. Whoa, that is tough action, brother. Stroud. I hate it, but Stroud. All right, McBride. I'm going to try to get. I have a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions. This is a good week, folks. Good week. You brought the heat. I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating. McBride on a bye. I need one of Brevin Jordan. Oh, yeah, no, Brevin Jordan. Listen, Dalton Schultz is out, like very likely out. Brevin Jordan ran a route on like 80+% of the team's dropbacks. Tight ends have been, targeted pretty heavily against the Jets over the second half of the season. Brevin Jordan is in a really, really good spot. All right, Casey. I'm stuck between ETN, Achan, Michael Pittman, and DJ Moore. I can only choose 3. Oh, yeah. No, this is easy. No, it's not easy. You're benching ETN. You're benching ETN. That's what you're doing. It is easy, actually. Packers or Saints defense this week. I wish you put the matchups because Packers, Giants, and then Saints, Panthers. I'm going with the Saints. Thoughts on Mixon? I don't mean to. I'm not going to dismiss this. I just want to get to more questions. I did write up Mixon extensively. Some are saying too extensively in the final defense report, which you can find on NBCSports.com. Check it out. I like Mixon. I will say that. Got to check it out. All right. Love or Lamar? Seriously consider benching Love because of weather for Lamar. Considering Love because yeah. I think that I think that makes sense. I think actually, if the weather truly is like miserable in that game, I would consider Love. I actually don't think you can go horribly wrong here. So there you go. All right. Yep. Me too. McKinnon or CEH. McKinnon. Yep. You're right. Exactly. My children started crying when they saw you drink that last sip of cold coffee. Diego, I was crying as well. That was horrible. Horrible. Man, I regretted that. Milk was a bad choice. Anyway, I have this thing called bench stash. Lots of stinky options. Khalil Herbert, Pierce McKinnon. Did Pacheco miss his practice? Shoot, I am not seeing that. But all right. So what are you asking? One of these guys. I mean, I would play McKinnon if Pacheco is out, and if not, then I guess play Herbert. All right, I'm going to try to answer a couple more here. All right, let's get to Poop Dollar. This is a serious stream, and I only call on serious people. Sorry if that's your actual name. 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. DK Metcalf. Folks, I know it's a bad matchup on paper, but DK Metcalf was like this close to an enormous game last time he played the Niners. He was targeted heavily, saw a couple end zone targets. You got to find a way to get him into your lineup. He has a lot of upside, a lot of volume based upside. So I would go with DK. I would go as the flex. I would go with Adams and then Gibbs. Yes. All right, 2 more. Let's do 2 more. All right, go in all caps, brother. Start at flex. I would go with Bajan, and then Garrett Wilson, Rice or Flowers. Garrett Wilson, Rice or Flowers. Garrett Wilson. Let's go with. Sorry. Yeah. Look, I didn't want to offend Poop Dollar. I'm in retrospect, I shouldn't have made fun of Poop Dollar. I should have been more serious and respectful of Poop Dollar. It's true. All right, last question. All right, come on, folks. Stop acting like Kyle Pitts is a fantasy option. Isaiah Likely is running all the routes. The Rams are a really good matchup for tight ends. You gotta play. Likely. Thank you for understanding, Poop Dollar. You're the man. All right, folks. Thank you for joining me for this Q&A, Week 14 Q&A. I'm Denny Carter. You can find me on X and on Threads at CDCarter13. I forgot my own handle for a moment, at CDCarter13. You can find all my work on NBCSports.com. Check out the Rotoworld Football Show, Week 14 preview, and I will see you